Morning. This hay fever is wrecking my eyes. I need to get some kind of hay fever stuff, either Piriton or some hay fever stuff. What's the best hay fever stuff that I can get for my eyes? Because as soon as I walk out the front door, my eyes are watering that people think I'm crying, but I'm not. It's just bloody hay fever. Anyway, welcome back to another video. My name is Rachel, and in today's video I'm going to be talking everything Disney that I have learned so far. So if you don't know by now, in August of 2025, I have booked my son and I to go on a 4-night cruise on the Disney Fantasy. Very excited to go. I've been doing a lot of research, watching people on YouTube, looking at their website, looking at other people's Instagrams, TikToks, and just reading blogs. And today I thought I would go through some of the stuff that I've been learning about the Disney Fantasy, especially their food that they have on board, because on a Disney cruise, most of the food is completely and utterly free. Well, it's not free. It's not free, is it? It's included in the actual cost, but some of it you do have to pay for. So I thought I would do a quick video and tell you all about the dining restaurants and the buffets and all that kind of stuff, and the food you do have to pay for on board when we go on our Disney cruise in 2025. But first of all, I want to show you Toby. This is Toby. Toby's had a haircut finally after a good few months of not having one, because he has been so poorly with a skin condition, haven't you, Poppet? Yeah, you have. But as you can see here, might grumble, you can see the patches just here, a few underneath there. I know, I'm sorry. And then you've got a few just here and underneath. They haven't got scabs on them anymore, but he is still a little bit tender, aren't you? Huh? But yeah, he's just having a little nap. So he's had his nice haircut now. And we've taken him back to the vet on Thursday. But he's doing good. He's doing okay. As you might not know, Toby's not very well. Hasn't got long left with us. But he is doing, he's doing okay. So anyway, back to the video. So all settled down, sat on my table while I talk to you about the Disney cruise. I've got my notes as well, because I'm getting old, people, and I forget things very quickly. As I said before, we're going on a Disney Fantasy cruise ship. We're leaving from Southampton. We're going on a 4-day cruise, and we will dock in Spain, La Coruna. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. My son and I have decided, well, I decided, my son's just quite happy to do whatever, that we're not actually going to go into Spain. We're going to get off the ship to find our legs, because my dad and his wife have been on many cruises, and they said you are going to want to get off the ship when it docks so that you can actually walk around and get your sea legs back. Plus, I want to take some pictures of my son in front of the ship and take a picture. And obviously, I'm going to be vlogging the whole thing as well, of the actual Disney Fantasy and the size of it too. So I will get off the ship and just walk around, get our legs, and then we're going to get straight back on it again. And the reason is because I spent $2,500 on this cruise ship. I'm going to be on the cruise ship, and I'm going to be doing every single thing. And I also am assuming, hopefully I'm assuming right, that many people will get off when it docks and they will go into Spain. So therefore, a lot of the things will be a little bit quieter for us to go and do. If they have open house where we can go into different areas, we're going to take advantage of that. And my son has said he wants to go on the aqueduct every single day. I think if we stay on the ship, he's going to be able to go on that numerous times that day, hopefully. Hopefully. I don't know. I've never done a cruise ship, never done a Disney cruise, so this is the first for me. Anyway, I've been researching all about the food that is included on a Disney cruise. A lot of it is included in your price. It's like an all-inclusive thing, but there are some areas where you do have to pay extra if you want them. But first of all, there are 3 main dining restaurants on ship, and you get to experience every single ship. So before you get on board or while you're on, you can download the navigation app, which will show you what restaurants you're going to be dining at that night. It rotates, so on night 1 you'll be at one restaurant, and then you'll rotate to the next and rotate to the next. On the last night, I'm just assuming you go back to the first restaurant. It's a 3-course meal. You can order anything you want off the menu, as much as you want off the menu, including the kids meal if you don't like anything on the main one as well. It takes about an hour and a half to have the dining experience, and there's 2 dining sets, which is around 5:45, 6 o'clock for set 1, and then the next dining seating is around about 8:30, I think. My son and I have obviously gone for the earlier one because we eat quite early anyway, so then once that meal's done, we can then go and watch the show on board, which I'll do another video about all the shows and entertainment and activities we can do on the ship. That's a whole nother video. So the 3 restaurants are the Animator's Palette, it is the Enchanted Garden, and it's the Royal Court. Now you get a server when you go into your first dining restaurant, and that server will stay with you through all 3 of the actual dining experience, so that they get to know you, they get to know what you like. It makes the dining experience a lot easier as you go throughout your course of the cruise ship experience, so which I think is really cool. You also eat with other people. I think you can request to eat on your own if you want to, but you also get to eat with other people, and say if you are table number 19, you will always be table number 19, sitting with the same people all the time, so you can actually make friends and get to know others as well, which I think for me, I think I'm dreading it because I've got high anxiety, but also on the other side, it'd be really good to meet other like-minded people who love Disney. And I've heard that everyone on the Disney ship loves everybody else, because we all have one thing in common, which is we love Disney. So the Animator's Palette is on deck 4. And I do know, because I've seen it on many of the vlogs that I've watched, that the turtle from Finding Nemo, I think his name is Crush. I know the little one's Squirt, so yes, it's Crush. Can actually talk to you from like the TV screens, but actually have real interaction with you and actually have a conversation. So I think that's really cool. And another thing that they also do is you have a drawing when you go into Animator's Palette, and you make your own drawing. The server then takes it away, and later on throughout your dining experience, if you watch the screens, you can watch your little person dancing on the screen. You've got to keep an eye out for them. I'm really hoping we get to experience both, but I think either one will be just as much fun for me. But I honestly think that my little boy would prefer the drawing one, to see it come live on the screen, but he's happy with whatever I think happens. So that is Animator's Palette. I have the Royal Court, or sometimes can be called the Royal Palace. That one is on deck 3, and I think deck 3 is the one that we actually walk onto. It's where the atrium is, so it's not too far from there. I think it's on the other end of the ship. Now with the Royal Court or Palace, whichever way you want to call it, you can actually have breakfast, lunch and dinner there. So if you rather have table service for breakfast or lunch, you can actually go into the Royal Court. But I'm not sure about Animator's Palette. I think you can do lunch there, but I don't think you can do breakfast, but I'm not 100% certain on that. So if you do know that answer, then do let me know in the comment box below. And then the final one is the Enchanted Garden, and that one is on deck 2. I don't think personally my son is going to be like over enthusiastic about the Royal Court or the Enchanted Garden. It's quite girly, it's a lot of the princesses and stuff like that. I'm gonna love it, I will absolutely love it, but I don't think he'll be too fussed. He'll still enjoy himself, he'll still have fun, but I think Animator's Palette for my boy is where it's going to be at. So I hope we get to experience that restaurant twice, but either way it's fine. Now the best thing about it is, if we do have the Royal Court or Enchanted Garden twice and my son doesn't want to do it the second time, we can order room service, because room service is included in the cost of the actual trip. However, tipping the person that brings the food to us is not included, so you do have to have extra money to tip. I'm not quite sure what the tipping is, because some people say it's like $1 per item, and some people say they just give them $5. So I'm not completely sure which is the right way to go around it. It's more research that I have to do, but personally I think if it was me, I'm probably just going to tip $5, but I'm not sure. Let me know what you think, because I don't know. If you've done a cruise ship before, then let me know. But room service is 24 hours, and I think room service is the only place you can get the Mickey Mouse like ice lollies, and they're like basically they're chalk ices in the shape of Mickey Mouse. I think you can only get them through room service, so I know that we're definitely going to be doing that. I also saw a tip from Adam Hatton, which is to order breakfast for the Friday morning, for like 7 o'clock in the morning, rather than go out for breakfast at the buffet, actually ordering room service to be very early, because we have to disembark by 8 o'clock and it'd be an absolute nightmare trying to get through all that buffet. So he said to order breakfast in, so you can have breakfast in your room at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and then you can just disembark at 8 o'clock in the morning without all the stress and the worry. So that is something we are definitely going to be doing. So I know that we're going to be having room service at least twice on the ship, but if my son doesn't want to do the Royal Court or the Enchanted Garden twice, that's absolutely fine. We'll just get room service for that night, and we'll just have it in our room watching something on Disney, because they have little TVs in their room with lots of Disney films and stuff, so we can do that instead and have a little bit of downtime, which actually sounds quite nice. But however, if it is Animator's palette, we're going back. Now, with room service, their breakfast is more continental breakfast, so like croissants, chocopan, cereals, fruit salads, stuff like that. So be aware of that. I don't know if they do kind of like a cooked breakfast or anything, but I know that you can have like cooked lunches or cooked dinners brought to your room at any point if you want to have that rather than go to the restaurant. Room service breakfast is served from 7 a.m. till 10 a.m, but you have to order before 3 a.m. and have it outside your room on the door handle if you want to have room service. If you haven't done it by then, you don't get that breakfast the next morning. So if you want to order room service for breakfast rather than go to Cabanas, which I'll talk about in a minute, make sure you put it on your door before 3 a.m. so that they can take it, they can get it all ready for you to bring to you whenever you want to. I've also heard they're very, very prompt. So if you order breakfast for 7 a.m, they will be there at 7 a.m. So don't think you can get a lie-in, they will knock you up. So lunch and dinner with room service is served from 10 o'clock onwards. So anything that if you've woken up late or anything else, you can order some kind of room service from 10 o'clock if you want to have a bit of a lazy morning. Personally, me, I'm like up and out. We are going to look on this cruise, find characters, have fun, do everything we can in a space of 4 days. They can also make custom sandwiches for you as well. Bring burgers, hot dogs, pizzas, literally anything. So you don't have to worry about having something particular with the room service. They can pretty much give you a wide variety of foods, so there's always going to be something for everyone, whether you're gluten-free, vegan, vegetarian, or anything other dietary requirements that you may have, they will be able to cater for you. If you want to order the room service at any point, you just use the in-stateroom phone and you can order room service there. So that is the room service and the rotational dining plan if you want to take advantage of all of that. All of it is included in the cost of the actual trip itself, but you do have to tip if you do order room service. Okay, next we have Cabanas and Flo's Caf. So Cabanas is where most people have their breakfast. That's a huge buffet. I think it's absolutely massive with what I've seen on YouTube or on TikTok or Instagram or something like that. They have so much variety. You will not go hungry. They have everything from fish to bacon and eggs, to cereals, to croissants, chocopans, literally anything you can think of for breakfast. In any country, there's going to be something there for you. You don't just have to have one serving. You can go up as many times as you want to. It's from 7 a.m. till 10 a.m. in Cabanas. I've heard that it gets very, very busy. There's lots of seating there, and there's also seating outside as well if you wanted to go outside and enjoy the sunshine or just get some fresh air or something like that. Like I said, it gets very, very busy very, very quickly. So if you're an early bird like my son and I are, probably a good idea to get there for like 7 a.m. They close at 10 o'clock, so make sure that you're in there by 10 so that you can have your breakfast then. Cabanas also do a lunch buffet as well, where they do hot dogs, burgers, chips, sandwiches. Again, there's a wide variety of food. You cannot feel like there's nothing there. There's always going to be something there for dietary requirements, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, dairy-free. They cater for everybody. So you really are not going to go hungry whatsoever. So that is their lunch buffet as well. I'm not sure the times of that because I couldn't find it, but I'm sure somebody will let me know in the comments or I'll just find out there. And Cabanas is found on deck 9 of the Disney Fantasy ship. Also, all of it is included in the cost of your trip as well. So you don't pay any extra for it either. You also have Flo's Caf, which do 3 different sections. They do Luigi's Pizzas, they do Fillmore's favourite, Tomato's Grill. So obviously you've got pizza, and then you've got burgers and hot dogs and sandwiches, like meat sandwiches, don't know what they're called, baguettes and things like that, anything from the grill. And then you have fruit or wraps or pittas or anything like that. So 3 different sections. Not sure if this one's found on deck 11 or deck 9. I think it's on deck 11 because Cabanas is on deck 9. So I think this one is on deck 11. But I don't think they have a lunchtime slot. I think like you can go anytime in the afternoon to go and get anything you want. So if you miss lunch for any reason, you've gone and done an activity and you've missed lunch in Cabanas, or you just wasn't hungry at that point, I think you can then go to Flo's Cap and get something to eat there as well. Again, all of it is included in the cost of your trip. The last thing for food wise that's included in your trip is the ice cream, Spa EYE Scream, like a bit like Monsters Inc. But it's soft serve ice cream that you can help yourself to all day, every day. I've seen a lot of different things with different flavours. So some say that they're strawberry, banana, chocolate, vanilla. You can have chocolate and banana or chocolate and vanilla. Every time I watch a video, there's always something different. So, but you do get soft serve ice cream that you can have all day, every day, and it's all included in your cost. It's found on Deck 9 near Cabanas. Again, it's included in your cost. I know my son's going to be there all the time. All the time he's going to be there. I know that that will mess with my stomach, but I'm still going to try it because I'm on a Disney cruise and I have to. But which ice cream flavour would you go for? Would you go for a standard vanilla, strawberry, chocolate, banana, or would you mix them together? Do let me know in the comments what you would do. So all of those ones are included in the cost of your trip. So you don't have to pay anything extra for those. The next section I'm going to go into is what you do need to pay extra for. So first, let's go for the two restaurants. You've got Paolo and Remy. Both are an extra charge and both you need to book. I don't know if you need to book in advance. I think you do because they can get booked up quite quickly. Paolo, you can go for brunch or for dinner, and it's an Italian style restaurant and it's on Deck 10. So if you want to be a bit fancier, if you want to go on date night with your partner, your kids can go into the kids club, the Disney crew cast members will take care of them. Or if you are just going as a couple, you can go into Paolo or to Remy for a bit of a date night. But I think you have to dress up a little bit, not too much, because all the other restaurants you really don't need to dress up for at all if you didn't want to. But I think with Paolo and Remy, I think it's a little bit more dressier than just like jeans and a t-shirt. But I'm not completely sure, but so don't quote me on that one. So that's Paolo. And then you've got Remy, which is a French restaurant like the Ratatouille film. So that's really interesting to me. They also have the bottle of wine that is served in the Ratatouille film. I'm not sure what it is. I have watched Ratatouille, but it's not my overall favourite Disney film, so I haven't watched it numerous times. Again, just like Paolo, you have to pay the extra charge for it as well. And I think you have to dress up a little bit more than you would if you're just going down to the other restaurants that are included in the price. Remy, again, is open for brunch and dinner, and that is situated on Deck 12. But you have to pay for extra for both of those, and you have to book in advance if you want to go to those restaurants. Now, in the Royal Court restaurant, which is one of the rotational dining experience, you can actually go there for a character experience if you want to. Now, mostly this is the princesses, so this isn't really going to be my son's thing. It is an extra charge and it's an afternoon tea, and you get to have some character experiences and meet some of the characters and have that whole experience if they want to. Now, my son, not really interested in the princesses, so probably would be lost on him. If I had a little girl or I took my nieces, they would absolutely love it. But you can go to the Royal Court for an afternoon tea. You do have to pay extra for it, but you also get the character experiences. I don't know how much it is, so it's something you are going to have to look into if that's something you want to do. Now, there's also a place called Frozone Treats from Incredibles. I'm in Frozone Treats. I think they serve the smoothies, and they also sell some alcohol as well that you have to have an extra charge for. So if that's something you want, you are going to have to pay for the extra smoothie. And that's situated either on Deck 11 or Deck 9. I'm not completely sure. Not something my son and I will particularly go and do, but if you want a particular smoothie for health or you want to have some alcohol, then you can go to Frozone Treats to go and purchase those kind of items for yourself or for somebody else. The next place is Senses Juice Bar, which is located near the spa on Deck 11. And in the Senses Juice Bar, you can obviously get juices, smoothies, vitamin pack smoothies, protein shakes, protein pack smoothies, all those kind of different things as well. There is an extra charge for that. So if you're having a relaxing time at the spa, which I'll do another video on in the future, you can then go and get a fruit juice or protein or vitamin infused shake or something like that. They've also got their fitness center there as well. If you're in a big workout routine, then you can go and get some kind of shake if you want to, but again, there's an extra charge if you want to do that. The last two are the Preludes, I don't know how to say it. Anyway, it's located right by the theatre. I think there's quite a few of them dotted around because you can come in from 4 different areas to the actual theatre, because you've got the lower ones and you've got the higher ones as well. And here is where you can get all your theatre snacks, like your popcorn, your sweets, your juices, all those kind of things. You can take your own in, I think, but if you want to buy it from there and get the Disney popcorn, which I heard is delicious, I never tried it, really want to try it. There is an extra charge for that, but you can get some snacks and treats to take into the theatre when you watch their shows as well. So they are located deck 4. So again, they do popcorn, cookies, sweets, smoothies. I think they also sell alcohol if you want to take some drinks into the theatre as well. So if you want to get any of those, that is an extra charge. And the very final thing, which I'm looking forward to the most, which I am willing to pay extra for, is the shop called Sweet on You, where they sell desserts, but more special desserts than you would get from the buffet or the restaurant or anything like that. There are cakes, there are cookies, there are ice creams, but different flavors, like pistachio ice cream and chocolate and raisin ice cream, and lots of different flavor ones. You can buy lovely cakes as well, which look divine. I really want to try one of them. They are an extra charge if you want to do that. I think we'll be going in there more than once, so I think that and the gift shops is going to be where my money goes on the cruise ship, but not necessarily on the food. You can very much do this on a budget once you paid for the actual trip itself, which is the most expensive part. That's all you really need to pay for. If you don't want to get any souvenirs, if you don't want to buy any extra food, if you don't want to get any alcohol or pay for any spa treatments, you can very much do this on a budget if you wanted to. So that is everything you need to know about the Disney Fantasy cruise ship when it comes to all their food. What's included in the price of the actual trip and what's not included. You can really do this with just paying for the trip itself, and you don't have to pay for anything else. If you are on a really tight budget but you really want to do a Disney cruise, you can do it that way. I have saved for 2 years to go on this trip, so it wasn't something that I can just pay for. I have saved and sold everything that I can sell, and I saved up for 2 years to do the trip. I've got £1,000 left to pay off the trip, and then I am done, and I haven't got to pay it until May of 2025. So I should have it by then, and then I can start on the spending money. I'm going with a child. I'm not going to go into that gift shop without coming out of anything. Plus I have to buy a souvenir, especially a pin and a few other little bits and pieces, because I'd love to do this again, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. So I really want to take advantage of everything I can. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you have been on a Disney cruise, especially the Disney Fantasy, and you've got any tips, do let me know in the comment box below. I will do another video on the Disney Fantasy next month of something else that I've learned about it, the entertainment, the spa, the adult only sections, or the kids clubs or anything like that. I will do another video, and obviously as I get into next year, then they'll start ramping up even more, especially when I'm about to go. If you have been on one, you have any tips, tricks, advice, or anything else you can send my way, please do. If you like these kind of videos, do give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. If you're not new here but yet to subscribe, then please consider doing so. And if you have subscribed, liked, shared, or anything else, thank you for your continued support and encouragement. I really do appreciate it. I hope whenever you're watching this, you're having a good morning, good day, or good evening, and I will see you on the next one. Bye guys.